All right, today we are diving into the absolutely wild story of a company called Bitmine Immersion Technologies, or BMR for short. It is a tale of a truly mind blowing valuation, a stock chart that looks like a roller coaster, and a team so small you'd think it was a typo. So, how on earth does a company with fewer employees than your local coffee shop get valued in the billions? Let's get into it. First, let's just talk about the number that makes this whole story so insane: $15 billion. At its peak, that's what the market decided BMR was worth. To put that into perspective, that's bigger than many well-known airlines and retail chains. It is a staggering figure. And now, for the number that makes it all baffling. This entire $15 billion operation, it's run by just 7 people. No, that is not a typo. 7. You could fit the entire company in a minivan. Which, of course, brings us to the big question. How is this even possible? What in the world could this tiny company be doing to justify that kind of valuation? To figure that out, we've got to peel back the layers on this mystery. Okay, Section 1, the $15 billion mystery. To really get to the bottom of this, we have to start with the numbers that created this puzzle. An absolutely unbelievable stock chart and, you guessed it, an even more unbelievable team. I mean, just look at this. The company's stock has been on a ride that makes most roller coasters look tame. In just 1 year, it exploded from around $3 a share to a high of 161. That's not just growth, that's a financial eruption you almost never see. So here are the 3 core facts, side by side. A $15 billion peak valuation, a team of just 7 employees, and that incredible stock run. When you see it all laid out like this, you really start to get just how unique and, frankly, how strange this whole situation is. So, how do we explain this? Well, that brings us to Section 2, more than a mining company. To really understand the valuation, you have to look past what they say on their website and compare what BMR claims to do versus where its value really comes from. Now, if you look at their official business, they seem like a pretty standard blockchain tech company. They do industrial crypto mining, they sell the equipment for it, and they host data centers. It's a solid business model for sure. But it is not the kind of thing that gets you to a $15 billion valuation, not even close. And that's because the real story here, the secret sauce, isn't in their day-to-day operations. Those activities just don't add up to the numbers we're seeing. The secret is buried deep in their financial strategy. And this is where the whole story really clicks into place. Section 3, the alchemy of 5%. Let's pull back the curtain on what's driving this incredible value. It's a plan so audacious you almost have to respect it. And yeah, it is as bold as it sounds. Their entire goal, their core mission as a company, is to buy and hold 5% of all the Ethereum in the entire world. It's a massive, all-in bet on a single digital asset. And they aren't just talking about it. They are actually doing it. As you can see, they've already snapped up 2.8% of the total ETH supply. That puts them more than halfway to their goal and makes them one of the biggest single holders of Ethereum on the entire planet. To put a hard number on that little slice of the pie represents a treasure chest of over 3.4 million ETH tokens. That is a massive, concentrated position for any single entity to hold. So here's the big reveal. When you add up the value of all their crypto and their cash, you get to almost $14 billion. This is why BMR isn't really a mining company at all. It's much more like a publicly traded digital vault that anyone can buy a piece of on the stock market. So what happens when a public company basically bets the farm on a single, super volatile asset? Well, you get a pretty dramatic effect on its stock price. It's essentially like putting Ethereum on steroids. Because almost all of its value is tied directly to Ethereum, BMR's stock acts like a magnifying glass. Every move ETH makes, BMR amplifies it. We just saw a perfect example. Ethereum dropped about 5.7%, which is a decent dip, but BMR's stock got slammed, falling almost 8%. Now, in the investment world, there's a term for this. It's called leveraged exposure. But simply put, it just means your outcomes get amplified. A small win for Ethereum can turn into a huge win for BMR stock. But, and this is a very important but, the reverse is also true. A small loss can become a much, much bigger loss.
An analyst at B. Riley really hit the nail on the head with this one. They said buying BMR stock isn't a bet on their mining business. It is a direct, supercharged bet on the future of Ethereum itself.
So let's bring it all home. After looking at the tiny team, this massive valuation, and the all-in strategy, what's the ultimate takeaway? What is BitMine Emergent Technologies really? Well, at the end of the day, BMR is not what it claims to be. It's not really a mining company. It's a publicly traded holding company for Ethereum. It's a high-risk, high-reward way to invest in the future of ETH, and its fate is completely, 100% tied to the wild ride of the crypto markets. And that brings us to the biggest question of all. Is this model, a tiny team controlling a massive digital treasury, the blueprint for a totally new kind of company? Or is this a multi-billion-dollar cautionary tale that's just waiting to unfold? The answer to that question lies entirely with the future of Ethereum itself.